Hey guys, welcome back to my old tractor shed. It's been a couple weeks since I've been in here. Sometimes life gets complicated and gets in the way, keeps a guy from his tractor restoration, which isn't right, but it is what it is. I've talked to a few buddies about this shaft inside this transmission. My machinist neighbor friend was here the other day. I was pretty sure I knew the answer to the question. No, the shaft will be too hard to machine, especially where the weld is. It'll be even harder there. The plan is to remove the shaft and hopefully grind off that weld and replace the snap ring. Until I get the shaft out and have a good close look at it, I don't know if that's going to be the case. If the shaft is damaged, well then I'm going to have to go and find a used one. So I had some old drawers and I took a few hours I guess. I put together a little cabinet. There's going to be an awful pile of little parts coming out of here. I want a place to put them. So actually this top drawer, I made a little thing I can put paper cups in here for all the little parts, and then I can write, I've got the parts manual, so I'm actually going to write the number or description or something. I can put them in there, and then other parts, of course, I can put in the other drawers, just in case it ends up being a long while before I get this thing back together, which it could very well be. But the only thing at the moment, I need to jack it up. Jack it up here in a second, and I'm going to move these blocks back forward, get them underneath the transmission, and then I'm going to use that little hand crank forklift to remove this. What I need to be careful here is the PTO shaft comes right to the very, very back of this housing, supported in the bearing back here, and then it goes right to the front. Actually, on the other side, there's a small access hole that if this tractor had been equipped with the front PTO, that's where the lever to turn it on and off is. And actually, when you look in there, you can see the end of the shaft. There's a bearing there, and there's a snap ring there. Reading the book, I could take it apart there and slide it back, but I'm pretty certain there's going to be some pieces down in there, the gear that engages and disengages, and the selector fork or whatever. That's probably all going to fall apart if I do that, so I don't want to do that. In the book, they show a bracket. After you back this off, there's a bracket that would bolt, special tool, John Deere special tool. I can certainly make one, that bolts onto the bottom of the transmission housing, has an arm that comes up and supports that shaft. I think what I'm going to do in a second, I'm going to jack up and move this. I'm going to remove the snap ring back there and then take these bolts out and start to bring this back. I think I'm just going to put a piece of angle iron on top of the final drive with a ratchet strap to support it until I get it maybe about 6-inch opening here. Then I'm just going to go and cut a piece of 2x4 or something or other to support that. It's quite a good size shaft. I'm concerned that the weight of it could break something up in their front. So that would be really bad. If that happens, this project could come to a screeching halt for a while. So let's just jump into time-lapse mode here. I'll get this jacked up and get these blocks moved forward, and then we'll proceed from there. All right, I think that'll be fine. I want to get the snap ring taken off the PTO shaft here at the back before I bring that little forklift in. So let's just take a second and do that. Got it off, but I think I'm going to need a new pair of snap ring pliers. That was a little bit of a challenge. All right, put that in here. So I'm just studying up the parts manual, and on the PTO shaft, that snap ring is number 17, and it shows a washer right behind it. And sure enough, I didn't see it at first, but you go here and have a closer look, and there's a washer. So I'm going to put those two together. Then it shows another snap ring holds the bearing there, but I'm sure I can just leave the bearing there, and that shaft should slide through. So my first two little parts. Okay, let me get this forklift all set up, and I'll bring you guys back in just a minute. I want to make sure I lift this even, and the bottom of this final drive is an odd shape. So this front block is tight, but there's a gap there. So I ran out to the wood shop and I found a piece of 3/4 inch that should slide through there. I think that should be just about right. A little weight, take a little wee bit of the weight. I can actually probably go forward a little bit. I gotta watch. There's actually two flat bosses, or whatever you would call that, on the bottom. Not sure what they're. Oh, that was where the drawbar bolted onto. There's a flat surface there, and actually same thing at the back. There's a couple of flat surface with some bolt holes. So that's where I'm trying to position my blocks. All right, time lapse again. Make some noise with the impact and take out some bolts. I should have some headphones. On the other side that I couldn't even get the box in. I had to use the open end to get them off. Okay, I've taken them all off. I just left the one. Just going to recheck everything here one more time. That's good. Not sure how heavy that is. Leave me a comment. What do you think that weighs? This thing's got a capacity, I think, memory serves me right, it's got a capacity of 500 pounds. I'm sure there's a safety factor worked in there. Just take the last bolt out. All right. Okay, let's see what happens here. Try putting it back a little wee bit. Yeah, there's probably some dowels. Make sure I didn't miss any bolts. Selection of pry bars, and of course we all know the best pry bar going is a screwdriver. Oh, there she comes. She comes. I can hear the gasket. I can hear the gasket ripping. I can see the crack opening up a little bit more at the top than the bottom. That could just be because I'm prying there. I'm going to try and raise this just a hair. That actually looks pretty good. Tapometer. Wife just gave me another coffee can. Life is good. Let's just try it. I don't know if I can get this off. Oh, I can see the dowel. She's free. I'm going to raise this up a little bit because it just dropped. Now, it's this PTO shaft. It's tight now. We're leaking a little wee bit of oil too. On the back of the PTO shaft, there's a few gears, and it has moved back about a half an inch. This is the mechanism to engage and disengage, and it's now jammed. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on down in there, and of course, no hope in hell of me seeing down in there. Think about this for a little bit. I'm just wondering if that shaft is tight in the bearing. I'm just going to try and give it a little tap if I can. Not sure if I can get on it. Yeah, I think I can. Looks like the whole bearing's moving in. But even if that comes out of there, oh, maybe. I don't know if there's enough room at that end for that gear and that bearing to pass through, staying on the shaft. I'm making this up as I go. I don't know. Pretty good sized hole up there. It's a good chance. But I think I'm going to try and support this before I... Now, let me give it another tap. See how far it's going to go. Yeah, that's what's happening. The gear is coming out of the housing, and it was binding down in there. It's not as bad now. It's that moves. But give me a couple minutes. I'm going to try and get a ratchet strap or something across this. I don't want that. I don't want that shaft to drop and then potentially break something. It might not, but it should sure suck if it does. Give me a minute. All right, there really wasn't enough room to get a ratchet strap in there, so I just put a piece of 1x1 square pipe across here, and I've got a few ratchet zip ties put together just to take the weight. So I'm going to carry on. I'm going to tap this a bit more and see what happens. It just stopped. It went a little wee bit more, and then now it doesn't want to go anymore. Can't move that anymore, so I may have an issue. All right, let's just see if we can't roll this back a little wee bit further. That is solid. That is solid. Oh dear. I just had a real quick reread of how they're saying to take this apart, and it surely looked like the PTO shaft has to stay with this. I re-tapped there just for a second ago, and it was definitely solid. Slightly bigger pry bar, and the whole thing just come apart. And yeah, the PTO shaft is staying with that, so success. All right. Trying to make sure my gasket doesn't get damaged. And now the PTO shaft is coming out of that bearing, which is what I thought it was supposed to do. I tapped it a little wee bit more there. I can see now that the bearing's going to stay, And this shaft is definitely coming back. So let's try. I'm going to move this forward a little wee bit. Snug it up a little wee bit. I'm going to see if I can't just pull this back a hair more. Oh yeah, I can see hopefully that camera's on there. Yeah, you can see the end of the, I guess that's the high-speed PTO. As I pull back on the forklift here, the final drive is coming this way and that shaft is staying. So it's staying with the transmission. But I'm going a little crooked here. Oh, I see, little lump on my floor right there. I'm sliding back my zip ties there. All right, so that gasket's coming away. That's fine. That shaft, I just reached down and grabbed the PTO shaft. It's very, I just want to make sure it's not binding on anything, you know. Yeah, it's just a little bit out of alignment, but that's okay. Okay, let's go a little wee bit further. Inner race of the bearing just popped off. Might be buying a new bearing, that's okay. We know how to do that. PTO shaft is completely clear of the bearing. Looks like the bearing did come apart. Not sure exactly why, but obviously I didn't have it lined up quite right. Okay, that's all right. You can see by the clock on the wall, it's time for lunch. So I think I'm gonna wash my hands, go for lunch, and then I'm gonna build a wooden support that'll sit on the floor and support that shaft so I can do away with my temporary zip tie thing, and then I'll get the thing off. So I'll bring you back shortly, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Made myself a little wooden support for that PTO shaft, so I'm gonna get rid of these zip ties, and then we'll see if we can get this thing the rest of the way off here. Let me grab a pair of cutters for that. Get rid of this. All right. Let's see if we can get this thing completely away from there. I need to move this just that way a little wee bit. The gear that's part of the PTO shaft is just touching my crown gear there. So I just want to gently, if I can. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not too much. And there we are. I may have to make something a bit more secure there so that I don't. I'm going to be working around this for a couple days, I'm sure. All right, let's see if we can just a couple more inches and I'll be completely clear of that. And then take this down. That'll do. Don't hit that. There we are. Let me bring this camera around and show you what I'm looking at here. All right, so we'll switch to the other camera. The selector shafts or forks come out of here and out of here. I'm going to need to get that out. This is just an oil line, but this shaft back here needs to come out. That's the shaft that I'm after. I think they call that an auxiliary shaft. But I need to, I see some snap rings and stuff there. I hope I don't have to take that. This sticks out just a little wee bit. I might need to get into that. That's okay. That's okay. We'll figure it out. But I think that's going to be enough for this video. Try not to make the videos too long. So I definitely appreciate your time. Like I've said before, guys, if you enjoy hanging out in the shop with me, consider subscribing and click that bell so you know when I leave another video or post another video. And if you'd like to help me out at all, share, click the like button, I guess, leave some kind of a comment. Let me know. What do you think? Am I going to have to take the whole gearbox off what they call, I believe they call that the intermediate housing. I call it bell housing, clutch housing, whatever. I'm hoping I can do it from here, but leave me a comment. Am I going to have to take it further apart? What do you think? Anyway, appreciate your time, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time in my old tractor shed. Ciao.